It's your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you today, the 73rd anniversary of D-Day. Quick shout out to all the heroes that stormed the beaches of Normandy and changed the world as we knew it back during those uncertain times. But today I want to talk about Schoolboy Q. He's a hip hop artist from the West Coast. And him kind of really shutting down the idea of a group he's a part of called Black Hippy with some of his peers having a concept album or some sort of compilation album anytime in the near future. Now, for those who don't know, Black Hippy is a group of some pretty talented hip hop artists from Top Dog Entertainment, which is a West Coast based hip hop label that is killing the game right now. And this includes the following rappers. You have Schoolboy Q, who we'll be talking about, Kendrick Lamar, arguably the #1 mainstream rapper right now in 2017. J-Rock, who's a veteran of the group and kind of has a little more of that West Coast kind of tenured experience. And then Ab-Soul, who, just like Schoolboy Q, is an up-and-coming artist on his grind, which is important. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the fans of these artists, and I'll say as a fan myself, fans are entitled now. The fans want a Black Hippy compilation album. They've kind of formed this group. They've had some features, they've done some songs, but they haven't had a full-fledged album of content here, and the fans want that. Now, what Schoolboy Q says, he's asked about this in a recent interview, and he pretty much says, quote, "Y'all been asking that question for 4 years." Kind of laughs it off. And then this is what he says in regards to the question and response to will there be a Black Hippy album soon. He says, "I don't know, man. I'm already working on the next joint already. I've already been working on the next joint. Just like I don't see the time. People don't understand that when you're working on an album, you're getting into a groove. It's hard to stop that groove, that zone you're in, or that vision. You have to jump on a whole new thing and restart with a blank sheet, basically." So what he is saying, Schoolboy Q, is he's focused on his solo album. And to get out of that grind and groove of his next project or his next tour, planning the project and the next tour, and when he's going to perform and how he's going to get this out to the world, to work on a Black Hippy album right now, the timing is not right and it's hard to do. The other thing that you have to take into consideration is these are other artists that have solo careers. Kendrick at the top of his game, J-Rock, who's a veteran, but he's really trying to rise up and continue to grow and improve and show the hip hop world that may have not known him if you're not from the West Coast and just learning about him, what he's all about. And then Ab-Soul, just like Q, who is a young, hungry rapper trying to tear the game up. And what fans have to realize, and we're so entitled, we get a lot of what we want. We tell rappers, oh, we want mixtapes every month. And we got all these rappers like Future and Gucci Mane putting out project after project, flooding the market to where you got to learn how to tread water in all these tracks. We have fans that are more educated now in the high school and college ranks that want more conscious rap. And to the mainstream's credit, you have the Kendrick Lamars and J. Cole going back to many previous decades where there were more conscious heads. In the mid-2000s, it kind of died off, in the mainstream at least. Underground has always been very conscious. But we're seeing in the mainstream that there's more of a message and thought-provoking sign of the times, this is what's going on in the world type vibe with a lot of the top artists. And we get that. We want tours, we get it. We want this, we want that, we pretty much get it. And these artists are responding to all these demands of the fans. But the fans need to realize, look, stop worrying about this collaborative project and let's enjoy the solo material of these artists. And for many of these artists, like Schoolboy Q, who's again trying to be on the rise, and Ab-Soul, they're trying to get up to where Kendrick's at. Now they may they get there, we don't know. They may. We don't. I mean, you've seen a lot of different things change in hip hop. You look at the Jay-Z's and Lil Wayne's and where they were, and you would have never thought they would have been the top artists at one point, at least in the mainstream eyes. So these artists are trying to focus on their solo brands and build their solo reputation of how they're judged by their peers, by their individual work. So they don't want to take the time, nor is it feasible when Kendrick's going on tour very soon. And then he's going to get off tour, and maybe J-Rock's going to go on tour, or Schoolboy Q's going to go on tour. All these artists have different schedules and different project deadlines, and the label is trying to get in the entire year each artist to have a specific months and dates to have these projects out. So they're not all on a break with their family. They're not all on a resting period at the same time. Each artist has their different schedule, and these schedules are all based around having each artist have its month or moment, and then the next artist is popped up, and the next artist and the label is popped up. They're all label mates. And the other thing people have to realize is it's totally different for these solo artists. All these artists in Black Hippy, Q, K. Dot, J-Rock, and Soul, they all are solo artists from the core. They came to their popularity because of their solo material. So there's not like NWA or Tribe or Wu-Tang where these artists got into the mainstream because of a group. Or even a Lil Wayne with the Hot Boys. He got into where he was because of the Hot Boys. So they never came up the ranks as a group. So they've never had the experience of actually having a full project as a group. They've supported each other. They've been in features. But when you're a featured artist on another, when Ab-Soul is on Kendrick's Section 80, he's being told by Kendrick to focus. There's no collab that, hey, what do we both want to do? No, this is my image. You can give me feedback and give me opinions, but literally I have the final say. Kendrick has the final say in his album. Ab-Soul has the final say on his album. To a point, obviously, the record label and the people are going to tell him, like, you can't do that, you can't do that, we can't clear that sample. But you pretty much, as the artist, have more say over the artist you're bringing in to be featured. So for them to sit in a room, there may not be that chemistry right now. The vibes aren't there for them to put a compilation album or some sort of collaborative Black Hippie album out. And for fans, boo-hoo, you're going to have to wait. Enjoy the solo stuff. If you're fans of any of these artists, enjoy their solo projects and see what they come up next. And if you get a compilation album or collaborative album with Black Hippie or even a TDE that adds SZA and some more artists outside of what's technically Black Hippie, you get it. Maybe you don't, but you have to honor the artist's freedom to say, look, we're not going to do it. Now, I know TDE teases a lot of stuff. They hype it up and do different things, but a lot of the recent kind of teasing and question asking with Black Hippie has been done by the fans. The fans having speculations, the fans pushing stuff. Obviously, like I said, TDE, man, they tease and they hang the little cheese on a string and all the fans jump up for it. And they troll as well as far as some of the stuff with Kendrick's album. But the fans need to understand, you got the solo stuff is 9 times out of 10 going to be more consistent. This collaborative, the idea of collaboration between solo artists and hip hop is very hard. So I would rather, me personally, I'd rather have no Black Hippie album out right now or even ever if the solo music is still going to be fire. And they're going to be featured on each other's music. And sometimes people have to realize it's better to have a couple features where K. Dot and Ab-Soul and J-Rock are all featured on each other's tracks than have a whole album that's forced or time sensitive. And they have to decide what the message is, and certain people may disagree, even though they're best friends. And we see that all the time in hip-hop with people that are friends from day one and the business divides them. Or people that are real tight on the same label, they try to put something together, it doesn't work out, or even sometimes they don't even have chemistry on a featured song. So I think for now, the fans need to chill out, okay? Enjoy the solo stuff from TDE's artists. And they're probably one of the best labels right now that is allowing everyone to get their shot. We're seeing many other labels finding people that are flopping and kind of putting them in the bushes. We're seeing a lot of different people that aren't even getting release dates right now. Like in Maybach Music and Good Music. Some of these artists are getting on the chopping block. So let's enjoy Top Dog Entertainment's array of artists from very different angles of hip hop. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely like, comment below, subscribe. But that is all for today. Hope you have a good one.